Hey guys, what's going on and welcome back to Tenerife, where we've got a Champions League final against Inter Milan to round off this entire series with. So without any further ado, let's get into this. I'm sorry, you just can't not do that. We're not actually at Champions League final day, we just wrapped up the league season, in fact, and I just didn't want to click through all of these without you guys. So, record high number of wins, record low number of league defeats, record high points total of 103. Ravella gets Spanish League Player of the Year because of course he does. Tammy Abraham banged them in for fun, Maxi Gomez second. Ter Stegen conceded one less goal than Christian Christensen did, irritatingly. Oh, I get Manager of the Year again. And the Team of the Year is actually mostly ours. Central defence ours, goalkeeper ours, despite the fact that Ter Stegen won Goalkeeper of the Year. Logic. Merckx, Faisal, Grealish make up the midfield. Maxi Gomez makes up one of the two strikers. And I've upset Vitor Ferreira for not playing him as a deep line playmaker, which is a promise I didn't realise I made. These two I was aware of because their desired position role was what I was going to play them in anyway. This one I didn't realise. But yes, we did win the remaining 3 games. The title was wrapped up in the 3-0 victory against Zaragoza. Somewhat anticlimactic, as predicted in fairness, so that's worked out. 2-0 against Elche and 2-1 against Pamplona. Very rotated team against Pamplona. Thought I'd give a few of the B team players a run out. Jordan Potts, Yiji, and Marcos Gerardo Garcia. They don't go in the right order on this list for some reason. It's highly irritating. I think it's actually a game thing rather than a skin thing that's caused that problem. You remember I called up the fact they were putting one of the defensive midfielders after all the strikers and all that? It's actually part of this list as well, so I think it's a game thing, not anything to do with TCS3. Speaking of the B team, we have completed total domination. 6 seasons after winning it with the A team, Tenerife win it with the B team. What a story this is. Blimey. Real Madrid B in danger of going down. Huesca and Girona in danger of going down as well. 2 teams I have seen in the top division, so that is a surprising relegation for them. Some teams up here that are originally 3rd tier and are still up here. Racing Santander, it's nice to see them challenging. But because Tenerife B have won the title in the 2nd division, there's a good chance, because of that, Las Palmas might get automatic promotion. There is a deep irony to that, which I enjoy narratively. But Alves has been banging them in for the B team. Jordan Potts with 14 assists. You can see why I called him up to play that last game. At this point in the game cycle, I just do the press conferences where it tells me I should turn up to them. This being a cup final is one of those. And I normally just skip it in the edit anyway. But what is Patrick Clamp on about here? A number of people would agree that your win over Young Boys was the highlight of Tenerife's run to the final. Is that something you also believe? No, Patrick. No. I think all of our wins in the knockout stages are somewhat more important than the demolitions of Young Boys in the group stage. Dear SI and FM22, make them better questions. I hope that improves in FM22. Bloody hell. Idiots. Idiots, the lot of them. The press also clearly don't understand words, which is a kind of worrying trait for the press. Being asked if this is making me all anxious, I've replied, the whole team is aware of what is expected of them. This has been made abundantly clear. How does that imply that I'm anxious? Surely that just implies I'm focused. Please just make it make sense. So despite the fact that Real Madrid finished 10th in the league this year, they did just win the Europa League, which has saved them, effectively, because, oh dear, 0 goal difference from Real Madrid. 0. 13 points of getting qualification in the league normally. I've done the maths, and if we're only including the major trophies, so that would be 4 La Liga titles, 3 Copa del Reys, 1 Europa League win, and 1 Champions League win, this would make it a perfect 10, Tenerife. Sorry, could not do that. If you want to include the minor trophies with the Super Cup and the 2nd Division win as well, then this would make it a perfect dozen. So, which I don't think is the thing. But either way, it's a neat number. So either 10 or 12. The lineup for this all-important final will of course be Christensen in goal, ever present. Tenorio at left back. Coming back from injury, this could be dangerous. Harwood, Picard, Bermudez at right back. Actually performing quite well recently. Valverde and Ravella in the middle, of course. Ravella with 24 assists for the season. Faisal in front of them, although the list of people better than him, Valverde and Ravella and Picard the centre-back. Don't forget we had to move him back from midfield to be a centre-back. How was he ever considered a central midfielder? He's just good enough to be a ball-playing defender. But Faisal obviously gets the nod in the middle. 16 goals for the season. Good output from him. Grealish and Merckx on the other side. 12 and 15 goals. 12 and 15 goals on their registers so far. Contemplating Maicon Douglas, contemplating playing Ducadin, but Ducadin's been very average all season, still hasn't really settled into the team as far as I'm concerned. And Maxi Gomez up front, 29 goals, could get 30 in this match. It'd be nice if he got 30 in this match. The Inter Milan team, of course, as we highlighted at the end of last episode, does include a couple of familiar names to our side in the form of Quiros and Cardos. Show them you're born winners, I've told them, which is a great line, quite frankly. But we go into this with 5 wins out of 5 on the recent form. Inter Milan was second in the Serie A and ended their season with a loss. So fingers crossed. They play 4-4-2. This might genuinely be the only Italian side I've ever seen in Football Manager that isn't playing 5 at the back. But Quiros and Cardos lining up directly in front and behind each other. Weirdly, they're playing... Marlon's through. Marlon's hit the post. Picard, I think, has saved that in the end, because I don't think Christensen was going to deal with a rebound. What I was about to say, though, is they're playing Gosens as a left midfielder and Ruggieri as a left back. I think, and I might be wrong, but in my short-lived Glory Hunter with Napoli, they were both my left backs. So it's a weird reunion with them two as well. Definitely have Ruggieri at some point. Anyway, but Gosens, in my opinion, is probably the most reliable actual left back in the game to begin with. A little worried about facing him, although a left midfielder, I don't know. Maybe he might not perform as well, but Marlon is not in there. Akasu on the right-hand side. They are. All the highlights do appear to be for them, and they kind of deserve this goal at the beginning. 21 goals for Doniel Marlon. Obviously gone to Dortmund in real life. The big move really for him in that respect, in reality. But, I mean, it's a bit fortunate. It comes off Tenorio twice and falls back into Akasu's feet twice. Feel a little bit hard done by that one in the build-up, but Grealish on the ball for us now. Tenorio, lovely ball to Tenorio there, actually. Faisal to Ravella, who I also had at Napoli as well, actually, thinking about it. We're going to need a little bit of an encourage here. Ravella's created a chance, as you'd expect. Ravella does take corners, I now realise, which might be part of his assist numbers, as our central defenders are actually relatively potent. Faisal in the middle, completely unmarked. Should have scored, obviously. How is that not a higher XG chance? I have no idea. All he had to do was head it to the left or the right of that goalkeeper, and it was going in. Ravella to Faisal. Menino off the line. Picard doesn't get that ahead of Lukaku, but Harwood will get there ahead of Marlon, thankfully. And we can rebuild. The highlight didn't end. I thought that was a goal line clearance highlight. Maxi Gomez is going to get on the end of this and score for that 30th goal. As someone is revving really loudly outside my window right now, so I hope you can't hear that. Grealish gathers the ball here. I really thought the highlight was done, but Maxi Gomez deals with both the defender and Livakovic, who, along with Xhaka and Merritt, I would regard as, in FM21, the 3 best value goalkeepers. Haven't used him this year, I don't think. And I want to say the other Turkish goalkeeper, I think it's Altay Bayındır, would be 4th on that list. But I've not really seen him as much in this year's game, so I don't know if he's still as good potential-wise. Don't know why I'm talking about goalkeepers as the Champions League finals rattling around behind us. 1-1 we can encourage still. That's not going to do anything dangerous. Now, Tenorio's not had a good game. He was only good for 75 minutes, apparently. But he's not been good for any minutes. Michaelenko can come on. He's fully conditioned, fully sharp. Not a bad substitution to have in the locker. And perhaps that double block unfortunateness that led to the Inter Milan goal is part of that knockdown rating for Tenorio, because it might have been classed as his fault as a result. They've taken Gosens off. He's not had a good game. As I say, he's probably one of the most reliable players in the game. I don't really know what to do here, because Grealish hasn't had a good game. He's on a 6.4. He is tired. I'm going to bring Maicon Douglas on. Orsolini is back, it's worth noting, so I do have a replacement for Merckx if necessary. Merckx has actually made it to 90 minutes without knocking down into the red for the first time in history. Faisal is tackled by Cardos, but we retain the ball here. Merckx is at that back post, and that is why you don't take him off. 93rd minute of the game. We're in injury time. I should be celebrating more than I am. I wore the Scenes hoodie today, by the way. I normally suit up for cup finals, but I thought it's the final game of the season. It's the final episode of FM21, realistically. I'll wear the Scenes hoodie, and we're getting scenes. I was somewhat dumbstruck it was actually happening, which is probably why I didn't react as much as I should have there. Just about played onside. And Merckx at the back post. Merckx at the back post with a header is a... I mean, we had so many substitutes on the bench there that we could have brought on. I didn't use any of them. 10 of them just sat there. But in fantastically dramatic style, it was a weird final because we kind of effectively just had the 3 goals as highlights and that was it. But we lift the trophy aloft. I forget who's captain now, which is a bit awkward. I think it's Merckx. Yeah, Merckx is captain. Merckx is captain, and I believe Picard is vice-captain. And because this is the first game I've played today, I need to change this back. There we go. Oh, it's the only game we're going to play today because there's no more for FM21. Now, just a bit of future planning here. I will be doing simulations. I will do How Tenerife Do Without Me simulation. Don't worry, that will be coming at some point in the coming weeks before FM22. I have some other FM21 roundup videos that I want to record as well as the Cyprus experiment, which I still can't get to work. I've got an achievement called World Renowned. It is a famous treble. I sort of ignored the Super Cup this year, and I kind of regret it now because that would have been another quadruple. But 17 million for that, medals for win, one of the best ever. Does that knock me into the top 10 in general then? Is that what that was? Is that what that was? No. Top 20. That's what it is. Okay then. 17 million for winning it, 12 million from revenue, and 16 million for coefficient ranking pool money. That's 55 million, 56 probably if you add all the points up together. 50 million paid back out again, and a few million pounds worth of bonuses. Shout out to the fact that the backup goalkeeper gets 50 grand, and Yannick Carrasco, who wasn't even in the A team, gets 73 grand. Where's Patrick Clamp? I want to see if he wants to know if Young Boys is still my best opponent. Bruno Alvarez is unsettled and left out of the team today. Relationship, very close. Holds me in the highest regard as a manager. Morale, quite good. I don't know where you're getting your information, Angel, but shut up. The only person unsettled is Vitor Ferreira because for some reason he thought he was going to be a deep line playmaker, despite the fact our team doesn't have a deep line playmaker. I was about to say we should get our year review through soon, but there's the 3 trophies, 2026-27 season complete. The best transfer, apparently, was Riccardo Orsolini. Mr. Reliable. Did cost 58 million, which is a heck of a lot of money for a backup player, but one last time with Riccardo, 21 starts, 18 sub appearances, 11 goals and 14 assists. Is an absurd record for the amount of appearances he had. 25 goal contributions in 25 starts, 18 subs. I don't know how that works out in total minutes, but 25 goal contributions, madness. I don't know why Matai is being listed as Tenerife B. He isn't, but he did start 11 games, £26 million he cost. Guaranteed backup player for the remainder of his career, probably. He was happy to be that, so we needed those. Same with Ferreira, he was happy to be a squad player, in the wrong position. Michaelenko, January transfer, happy to be a backup player. Again, I'm glad I got a few people in who are happy to be backup players, because that was necessary. We can't have 22 players who all think they're going to be first teamers. We do need some players who are happy to be backups. And we got those. There are some names on the list that you never saw. Of course, some players for the future. Luis Tavares, £3 million. £3 million. I may have actually shown you him, I think. But it's madness that he cost me £3 million from Braga. Played once in the B team, got a 6.5. Played once in the A team, got a 7.3. Got an assist. Actual genuine Chinese wonder kid. As when I showed you in a previous episode, he wasn't an international new gen like Shao Nan was for York, but was a free transfer. Some names here that you possibly never saw. I don't know if I ever showed you Vukovic. I signed him in the beginning of the year, but he was always going to be a backup option. He was always going to be a B team option. £20 million we paid for him. I'm not sure his potential is actually as much as it should have been. That might be a loss. Although he's only cost £10 million so far, so I don't know why it's saying that cost 20. Because we've not paid 20. And Kaiser, again, one for the future in theory. I don't know how he's going to develop. He's one I'm going to be intrigued by on the future simulations without me, because I don't know if he'll start. I don't know if he'll get game time without me. He did barely got game time with me, quite frankly. But he did play 18 games in the B team, 5 in the A team, did score for the A team, and did assist for the A team. So, and there's some other names here we were brought in for future, hopeful future names, development, and money, quite frankly. Because in the Spanish leagues, you've got to make your money through player sales. 103 points. I don't know if that's a league record, but it's definitely a Tenerife record. Delighted. I got an A+ for that. Did I get B-? B-, they're pleased we won the title. Literally can't do any better than that. B-. Same here as well. Biggest win was against Young Boys, Manchester United. Take note. Match to remember was 3-0 against Zaragoza. I mean, it was the match in which we won the title, but I feel like there were better matches than that. And goal of the season came from Antov. I disagree with that goal of the season. I don't know what it is. I can't really remember it. But for sure, the curling shot from 24 metres, I think, would be beaten in my mind by Merckx's goal we saw in an episode where he went from our penalty box, broke effectively from our penalty box, all the way up the pitch and scored at the other end, in true Heung-min Son style. And club reputation has hit full 5 stars. So that was actually the original aim of this series, to become the most renowned team in the world. Prize money, obviously up for winning the Champions League. I will be intrigued to see where we are in the rankings now. But there's our team of the season. It was the team that started the final. as you'd expect. 24 assists, 3 goals for Ravella, by the way. He did score again. I seem to remember last time I talked about Ravella, he'd only scored once. Did get up to 3 goals in total in the end, which kind of puts Valverde to shame a little bit. But Merck's 18 assists and 16 goals is a good return all round. Grealish never really found it here. He's not done badly, but he's not done sensationally either. Ravella's player of the season, rightly so. Merck's young player of the season, he's still only 21, don't forget. Signing's Orsolini, of course it is. We'll ignore Antov's goal all season. It's just nice to see his face here at the end of this save. I suspect he'll get sold. He would have got sold by me manually if I was still in charge next season. And I suspect he'll be sold by the AI as well. 30 goals for Maxi Gomez. Got to the round number. Love to see it. But Ravella, most passes per 90, highest average rating, most assists, of course. Merck's the most player of the matches, though. And Ravella got the most assists by a player in a season. Full record, along with Maxi Gomez's fastest goal in 14 seconds. Competition awards in total. I told you that Christensen won all the goalkeeper awards. Faisal's won all the African awards. Spanish League Player of the Year was Ravella, and Hugo Moss got World Under-21 Footballer of the Year. I didn't see that one go through. Maxi Gomez officially takes the striking role, which is good because he has been effectively the longest standing striker we've had, except for Alves. Technically, I feel a little bit I feel a little bit bad for Alves that he's not made the bench for the striking role because he's been here the entire time, rotating in and out of that starting lineup, being relegated to the B team for this year. But a little bit surprised he's not made that lineup. Merckx and Zukic. Fair enough. Gallardo in the middle. Nice to see him in the 11 somewhere, even if it is in the central midfield. Antov and Ravella. Yep. Nedalera right back. Fair enough. He has been here through 2 tenures as a backup. It's a little bit odd, that one, but I can sort of see the reasoning. Harwood, Picard, centre-backs. Great. Ren and Lodi at left-back. Yeah. I still agree with that, even though he did leave this year. Merit as the... I think Christensen might have usurped Merit as the first-choice goalkeeper. I'm not sure that was Christensen last year, but I would agree with that now. Oh, Eduard got sold to Spurs at some point. He went to Italy. I'm a little bit confused why they're telling me about Eduard. I think players that are being ejected from the best 11, for some reason, are being talked about in the text version of this. We've officially gone far enough in this save to get the original 2020 side, which is nice and poignant, quite frankly. Aitor Sands became a coach for us. Yeah, we knew that. Sotalo's at Spurs. We knew that. Barrow at Wolves. Barrow's at Wolves? Of course he is. He's Portuguese. Ricky Puig is at Leeds United. Sipcic is at Partizan. Kakabadze's at Zurich. I think that's who we sold him to. So he's still there. Valera's at Eibar. Sashua's at Brentford. I think that's who we sold him to as well. Checkball's made his way to Stoke. That's not who we sold him to. Varda is at Mallorca. I think we've chased on him a while. Bruno Wilson. I'm ashamed I don't actually remember. He was the person alongside Sotalo that first season, I think. We loaned him in. Munoz is at Cadiz. And Jacobo is at Gruther Firth. Cervantes, Storage, Zarfino, Teixeira, and Pomares have all retired, naturally. They're all being listed in the game, so are they doing things? Storage is an unemployed coach and has been for the past 4 years. Give it up, mate. Just give it up. Cervantes played in Japan for a while. 2 of them are no longer in the game, and one of them, I don't really remember. He was with us. He might have been one of those ones that was already loaned into the team because I don't remember him that much. And I certainly wouldn't have loaned him from Extremadura. That wouldn't be a team that I would have gone to, naturally. I can't remember where he played. He did have 32 appearances, although a lot of them were substitutes. Building a new stadium is still in. They do expect us to win the title now, so I will just say that before we go anywhere. Lovely. I am so confused by this because Manchester City were listed as the underperformers in the Champions League, and yet they had the first 2 goal scorers. How did they achieve being rubbish in the Champions League, but also the most goals? Antov's goal of the season made 3rd best goal in the Champions League. I'm not going to show you it. And despite winning it, we only got 3 players. Again, 4 players from the losing side are in the dream team. Trent at right back is also there. Ward-Prowse, losing semi-finalist. Ward-Prowse, actually, of all the Chelsea players, was the one that got in. All right. Juventus had at least got to a semi-final as well. Dybala alongside Maxi Gomez up front. Man City, when did Man City get knocked out? Because they were listed as the biggest underperformers. They were knocked out by Chelsea in the quarterfinals. So a quarter-finalist makes the dream team. Or at least 2, because Liverpool's over here as well, and we knocked them out. So I think we can feel somewhat hard done by. Put Gosens as the left mid, and then put Harwood in as the left back, because he can play it. That's what I would have done, probably. But oh well. Christensen, at the very least, was the second goalkeeper. Ravella. How the hell is Ravella not in the dream team? The midfielders are Vinicius Junior, Ravella, Merckx. Dybala, Werner, and Lukaku as the forwards. Maxi Gomez gets in ahead of 2 of those. Linkovic-Savic, not in the top 3 midfielders. Ward-Prowse, not in the top 3 midfielders. How is Ravella not there? Dear SI, please explain how this works compared to this. So the planning stages of the stadium are complete, And now they're going to build the stadium and it'll be done in 3 years' time. It's going to cost £230 million. They've secured a loan of £130 million. And additional funding for the project has been secured through sponsorship for £50 million and £5 million from selling the original stadium. It's going to be it's going to be a 59,000 capacity stadium, which is quite hefty in fairness. So I'm just doing the maths right now. We're paying £45 million up front, but they have taken £100 million off. I don't understand this because it's not added the prize money from the Champions League, which works out as a net 30 million. We were on 105. We're now down to exactly 30 million, which is insanely neat. But you can see ground maintenance is the entire cost of the stadium. The other is the loan. We are effectively down a net £100 million, despite the fact £55 million of that was from selling the stadium and sponsorship. So we should have £50 million of sponsorship, unless that only comes through once it's built. It's not being listed on here. Still got £100 million of transfer budget, apparently, though. But that's cool. The stadium is being built. Meanwhile, the B team is still playing and still winning. So that's it from the Tenerife lads. We effectively covered the overall performance for the seasons following the Copa del Rey win intentionally then. So not a lot's changed on that front. The same people who were high rate then are still high rate now. The assist list, the key passes list is still Ravella effectively double anyone else. Did just want to highlight that one final time. Ravella, what a man. What £55,000 he was on at the end of this. Was gonna get a new contract at the end of the year. I will do all the contracts that I promised at the start of the year. Andy Harwood was on 13 grand a week this entire time. How has he not kicked up a fuss about that before now? I'm not sure if he even necessarily kicked up a fuss about it this year. I think he just came up. I think he just approached me saying, I'm thinking of getting a new contract. And it didn't immediately just cancel straight away, like it does with some people. My augurs kept coming to me over the course of this season saying, oh, I think I'll have a new can I have a new contract? And as soon as I talk to him back, he goes, oh, thank you for listening. And I don't get to do anything. I will give him a new contract because it runs out in 2028, even though I haven't promised him one. I have promised Harwood one and I have promised someone else one. I can't remember who it was now. But Picard's been on 120 grand this year, and Harwood's been next to him the entire season on 13 grand a week. We need to shout out Andy Harwood before we finish off this season because, I mean, his right foot's reasonable, but so is his entirety. Valued at £60 million on 13 grand. We'll get a new contract, obviously, but 13 grand a week. I can't believe that. He might generally be the most reasonable person in Football Manager history for me ever. He's had a £79 million release clause his entire time as well. So glad no one ever triggered that because that was reasonable, quite frankly. £79 million for Harwood, reasonable, especially as his value is now 60. He had £2 grand in appearance fee, 1,700 for a clean sheet, so he was effectively getting another £4 grand per week every time. And his unused substitute fee was just less than 600 quid. The best part of this is it's 13 grand now. He started this contract 3.5 years ago with a 5% yearly wage rise. So he hasn't even been on 13 grand this entire time. It's been even less than that and gradually made his way up to 13 grand. Why can't everyone be like you, Andy? Why can't everyone be like you? Well, I'm very likely going to be doing my favourite players of FM21, so you will be seeing a few of these people again. Harwood's 13 grand reasonableness has definitely put him on that list now. But there we go. Like I say, it won't be the last time you see some of these guys. I will be doing a favourite players of FM21 video at some point before FM22 comes out. But I just want to say thank you for joining me on this journey. This has been a particularly personal save for me. So I'm very happy to see those people from Tenerife pop in every now and then, drop a comment saying, hey, I'm from Tenerife. Thank you for doing this save. Those comments in particular warm my heart. Obviously, I'm happy for all the comments and all the viewers, and I appreciate every single one of you. But those Tenerife natives that have popped in over the course of this series, it's super happy to see that because Tenerife, Canary Islands as a whole, but Tenerife in particular, hold a special point in my heart. This year, with what I've gone through, I sort of ended up doing saves that were quite personal to me, which is why I did Skegness. I'm not 100% certain if I ever said it in a video, but my mother passed away towards the end of last year, sort of just after FM21 came out, actually. When it came to doing the main saves on here and on Twitch, I did personal saves. I did Skegness because that's where she passed, and that's where she sort of went on a weekly basis during her fight. They went there very regularly. So it's a very personal place, and I'm very, very sad I didn't get to do what I wanted to do with Skegness. I'm very happy I got to do this Tenerife save because the Canary Islands was sort of our abroad holiday growing up, and we kind of stopped doing abroad holidays once I was in secondary school. So the Tenerife memories are possibly sort of the oldest memories I still retain, and that's why I did it. That's why I did Tenerife as a save, because I kind of just wanted to, in part, go back to those memories, and in part to make new ones. I wanted to make new, fun memories of something that holds such a dear place in my heart. And there's one memory in particular that I knew I could sort of show you, because I remember being in Tenerife around the time that Star Wars Phantom Menace came out. And when we were there, they were doing toys for Star Wars with fast food meals. Yeah, I know. Go on holiday, still get fast food. But I found one such toy when I went home last, just to show I wasn't going crazy. Because I remember distinctly that I got a toy when I was in Tenerife of the ship from Phantom Menace. It shoots off. I'm not going to do it because it'll cause carnage. It's an air pump thing. But like I say, I'm super happy to receive all the comments. I'm just really glad that it's resonated with some people the same way it's resonated with me. And that's the main thing, really. I'm just happy that I've seen other people enjoy this save as much as I have. I should just mention, by the time this goes live, I may be on Twitch because I was going to stream yesterday, but that was my mother's birthday at the point, or would have been my mother's birthday at the point of this going live. I'm going to be doing one more year with Sheffield United. So join me over there for that. All the familiar faces from the first save on YouTube, you'll be seeing them again on Twitch until FM22 comes out. We're going to be doing one more season, trying to reclaim that Premier League title that we lost in the final season. We may have won the Champions League in the final season on the Sheffield save. Spoilers. We did win the Premier League in Season 3, but we didn't get it in Season 4. I want to get that back before FM22. So that's it from me. Thank you for joining. This might end up being a slightly longer video as a result of that, but we did indeed, in terms of major trophies, make it a perfect 10. Tenerife. I can't not. It's too good a pun. It's too good a pun to not do that every time. But thank you for joining me. I will see you again very soon for future simulations of this, my FM21 roundup videos, and of course, FM22's beta, which I will be doing with Newcastle over here, Hanover over on Twitch. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, ta-ra.